Look at this desolate expanse. Dust, heat, a graveyard of empires in the Middle East. But let us rewind the clock, back past the Romans, past the Sumerians, 10,000 years. The dust vanishes. You are standing in the same spot, but now you are in Eden. This is the Fertile Crescent at the dawn of the Holocene, a garden born from chaos. For 2 million years, Earth was a manic pendulum, swinging violently between freeze and thaw. Then, inexplicably, the fever broke. The climate snapped into a straight, flat line of stability. We call this the long summer. It is the only reason you are alive to hear this. For the first time in history, the environment stopped trying to kill us. The rules of the game changed. Survival was no longer about running. It was about waiting. Welcome to the Holocene, the most fragile and important moment in geological time. It begins with the Great Melt. The ice sheets of North America are dying. Trillions of gallons of fresh water are unleashed. The planet is literally sweating off the ice age. The weight is lifted. The Earth's crust, crushed for millennia, begins to rise back up. But the water must go somewhere. The oceans swell, rising over 100 meters globally. Look at Europe. Britain is not an island. It is connected to France by a lost world. Doggerland, a hunter's paradise, the finest hunting grounds in the ancient world. But the Holocene demands a price. The rising seas drown this world beneath the waves forever. Britain becomes an island. Geography dictates destiny. The map of the modern world is drawn. Above the ground, a silent revolution occurs. The atmosphere stabilizes. The erratic jet streams calm down. The chaotic storms of the Pleistocene fade away. A rhythm emerges. Winter, spring, summer, fall, predictable, reliable. A promise kept by the planet. Temperatures lock into the Goldilocks Variance. Not too hot, not too cold. Impossible stability. With stable rivers come the deltas, the Nile, the Tigris, the Yangtze. The cradles are being built. Topsoil begins to accumulate. The earth is laying down the foundation for agriculture. The forests march north. The barren tundra retreats. The stage is set. But for the giants of the Ice Age, this warmth is an apocalypse. Their time is over. The megafauna die. They are replaced by smaller, agile beasts: deer, boar, gazelle. The global monsoon system kicks in. Regular rains water the subtropics. The engine is running. And what of the ape? We crawl out of our caves to find a new world. We did not conquer the earth. The earth simply invited us to stay. Even the Sahara is green, a savanna teeming with hippos and crocodiles, a paradise lost. Here, humans thrive, painting their dreams on rock walls that will one day be scorched by sand. The carbon cycle balances perfectly. The forests act as the planet's lungs, regulating the heat. In the oceans, coral cathedrals rise, a burst of biodiversity to match the land. The nights are warmer. The bitter freeze that killed our ancestors in their sleep is gone. Food is everywhere. We no longer need to chase the horizon every day. We stay put for a month, then a season. The nomad begins to settle. The river floods, but it is a gift. not a curse. It brings the nutrients we need. Orbital mechanics align. The Milankovitch cycles grant us a reprieve from the ice. The Amazon expands, becoming the greatest biological battery on the planet. But the system is not perfectly safe. In the north, a final trap is waiting. Lake Agassiz, a glacial reservoir larger than all the Great Lakes combined. While the ice holds, we begin to build. Göbekli Tepe, the first temple. We carve our fears into stone. We are organizing. Religion is born from surplus. We stop hunting the animal. We start controlling it. Domestication begins. The wolf comes to the fire and stays. The pact is made. The table is set. The climate has prepared the feast. We begin to measure time, not by the kill, but by the harvest. But the Holocene has a temper. The stability is about to be tested one last time. Before the endless summer truly begins, winter must return for a final bow. The ice recedes, and the ape stops running. We build the first hives, Jericho, Çatalhöyük. But stability brings a new burden. The era of leisure is over. The era of toil begins. We trade height and health for security. We shrink. Our bodies pay the tax of agriculture. We lock ourselves into a marriage with the grass. If the wheat dies, we die. Living so close together, microscopic monsters awaken. For the first time, contagion becomes a killer. We master the chemistry of earth. Fire and clay become ceramic. We can now store the surplus. Surplus creates wealth. Wealth creates theft. And theft creates the need for walls and war. We begin to leave our mark. We hack back the forest to feed the fires of civilization. While the North builds walls, Africa is a water world. Lake Chad is an inland sea. Civilizations rise here that will vanish without a trace when the rains eventually stop. The climate is the conductor. We are merely the orchestra playing the tune it permits. We begin to predict the future. If the star rises here, the river will flood then. Technology accelerates. Weaving, polishing. We are optimizing our existence within the stable window. We are no longer just inhabitants of the ecosystem. We are becoming its architects. But the Holocene is not a static painting. It is a living, breathing beast. And in the far north, the final piece of the Ice Age is about to break. 8,200 years ago, the ice dam of Lake Agassiz reaches its breaking point. The collapse is instant. A freshwater tsunami crashes into the North Atlantic Ocean. The conveyor belt of the ocean, the engine of warmth, is flooded and shuts down. The heat transport stops. Europe is plunged into a sudden, brutal, deep freeze. The long summer is interrupted. Crops fail. The predictability we relied on is shattered. In the east, it brings not cold, but a mega drought. The rains simply stop coming. This is the first great climate refugee crisis. Settlements that stood for centuries are abandoned. But crisis breeds movement. Farmers are forced to migrate, bringing their seeds to Europe. And crisis breeds invention. If the rain won't fall, we must move the river. Irrigation is born. We refused to die. We engineered our way around the climate's betrayal. Centuries pass. The fresh water mixes out. The ocean engine restarts. The warmth returns. The shock is over, but we are different now. We are harder, more organized, more resilient. We have tamed the water. The stage is set for the first true empires. But the pendulum is still moving. The green Sahara begins to dry up. The sand returns. Refugees from the drying Sahara flock to the Nile. A pressure cooker of humanity forms. From this density, the pharaohs rise. Egypt is a gift of the climatic shift. The Holocene stability locks in. Civilization goes viral across the planet. We invent history. We begin to write down our own story. We invent money, a way to store the energy of the harvest for the future. We pave over the mud. We try to forget that we are at the mercy of the weather. The Mediterranean becomes a highway. Ideas flow as freely as the currents. We harness the wind. We harness the water. We are energy hungry. And then, we find a new source of power, buried sunlight from a forgotten era. The Industrial Revolution. We stop relying on the Holocene's flow and start burning its past. We wrap the planet in a blanket of carbon, unaware that we are touching the thermostat. We build machines larger than the dinosaurs. We drift further from the garden. Look at the line. For 10,000 years, it was flat. Now, it is vertical. The ice is waking up again, not from a natural cycle, but from our own hand. We built our world on the shoreline, assuming the water would never move. We were wrong. The predictability is fading. The seasons are becoming strangers again. The energy in the system is rising. The storms are remembering their ancient power. We are 8 billion souls, suspended over an abyss by a thread of climatic stability. The long summer is ending. The question is not if the climate will change. The question is, can we adapt as fast as we did when the ice dams broke? Future geologists will look at the rock record and find a strange new layer. Plastic fused with stone, chicken bones, radioactive isotopes, the signature of the Anthropocene. We have become a geological force. We move more sediment than all the world's rivers combined. We have replumbed the planet. We decide where the water flows and where it stops. We simplified the biosphere. We traded the complexity of the wild for the efficiency of the machine. We wrapped the Earth in a second atmosphere, one of data, signals, and commerce. But the stability that allowed this expansion is cracking. The glass house is getting hot. We sense the danger. We bury our seeds in the ice, hoping the Holocene can be frozen. We study the air of the past, looking for the warning signs we ignored. We race to switch fuels, to stop burning the dead and start harvesting the living sun. We bring nature inside. If the outside becomes hostile, we will build a new garden within. We enter an arms race against the planet, concrete against the rising tide. The Goldilocks Variance is gone. The dial is spinning. We are entering the unknown. The Earth is not dying. It is simply changing. It is moving to a new state. Life will endure. The question is not about the planet's survival. It is about ours. Let us return to where we started, the Fertile Crescent, 10,000 years later. We are still that same ape. We still need to plant a seed and watch it grow. Our tools have changed, but our biological needs remain tethered to the climate. We dream of other worlds, but Mars is a cold grave compared to the worst day on Earth. This is it, the only lifeboat in a vacuum of infinite black. The Holocene was a gift, a rare 10,000-year summer vacation. We spent that vacation building a civilization that assumes the summer never ends. But the vacation is over. It is time to go back to work. Work not to conquer nature, but to partner with it, to steward the stability we broke. We must design a new Holocene, artificial, managed, deliberate. We are the first species in 4.5 billion years to decide its own geological destiny. We have the knowledge, we have the tools. We lack only the will. The sun rises on a new epoch. The Holocene is dead. Long live the Anthropocene. Remember where we came from. Remember the ice. Because the ice remembers you.